regular session to order for December the 3rd. Roll call, please.
Dominic, Johnson, Williams, Lynn, Bowman, Cawthorn, Gage Watts,
Here.
Escaday, Thibodeau, Cox, Smith, Epperson. We have a quorum.
Okay, if I get Commissioner Williams to lead us in invocation and Commissioner Dominique for the Pledge of Allegiance, please stand.
Stand and bow your head, please. Take all hats off, please. Father, in the name of Jesus, Lord, we come with bowed down heads and humbled hearts. Father, let us pray for our men and women who serve in our uniform, and pray for the victims and the families in California who lost their loved ones. Also pray for our state troopers, our armed forces. Pray for every member around this horseshoe, Lord. Let what we do be decent and in order, respect for one another. Pray for our children, our senior citizens, those that are homeless and helpless. We ask it all in your Son, Jesus' name, amen.
Amen. All face flag, repeat after me.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Are there any agenda additions? I don't have any.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I'd like to make a motion to expand the agenda
Second. What?
to include resolution number 72 of 2015, requesting Governor John Bell Edwards serve as Grand Marshal of the 2016 Caddo Veterans Parade.
Second.
Okay, let's vote on adding this to the agenda. Way out there.
Yeah.
That passes 11-0. Now let's vote to add it under new business.
That's resolution.
Resolution. That also passes 11-0. Next item.
Next, we move to citizen comments.
Citizens who wish to address the commission on any issue other than zoning, please fill out a comment card located in the chamber for you. Return to myself or the clerk of the commission. Individual comments will be limited to 3 minutes.
Okay.
First one up is Rob Broussard.
Rob Broussard, 451 Sanford, Shreveport, Louisiana.
Old man stuff.
You can begin.
Thank you, Commissioner Johnson. First, I'd like to say thank you to all of the commissioners for the appropriation for the Broadmoor Neighborhood Association tutoring program. I need to point out that since the project was not fully funded, we were faced with the dilemma to kill the project or to amend it to match the dollars allocated. After talking with several commissioners and commissioner staff, and with the advice of others within our own organization, we've decided to amend our project to match the allocations. And I want to make sure and let all of the commissioners know that as we speak, our thoughts on amending the structure of our program is to reduce it from 4 schools to 2 schools, because it's about half of the allocations. If other monies come in through amendment in the next year, we will broaden it back out to pick up the other schools that would have been left out. And I think we addressed that before y'all voted on that amendment, but I do want to reiterate it. So with that, we want to say once again thank you, and I want to personally thank members of this commission who reached across the aisle to see that this amendment was voted on and taken care of. And I appreciate that tremendously, and I say that to all of you. And I don't know the vote. I wasn't here. I was at the school board office making sure that we hold our school board's feet to the fire in terms of issues that deal with children too. So we work more than just one governmental body. So I apologize for having to leave. Also, I want to request from you, each one of you, that as this project gets underway, I want to personally invite each one of you as individuals or as groups to call me and say, let's go see your program in operation. I want to make darn sure that y'all know that I understand the word transparent, and that we want to show you that all of our efforts are strictly dedicated to helping these children that are failing, that come from low income families, succeed. So with that in mind, please take me up on that invitation. Please audit our books at any time you would like. Please come and be a part of a program that we hope will become a model for other programs throughout the city. And once again, thank you all for what you have done. I know that two people I want to recognize, Mr. Escudé, you're going off the commission. Thank you so much for representing Broadmoor Neighborhood Association and all your efforts. I sincerely appreciate that. Mr. Williams, thank you for reaching across the aisle with us on many occasions. I know you'll be leaving the commission too. So I want to say thank you to you personally. And while some people pay dearly for what they do and others not at all, you know, I pray for you in your upcoming battles.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank y'all.
Thank you. Next one is Lavette Fuller.
Good afternoon. Lavette Fuller, 2 Longleaf, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71106. First, I'd like to thank you all for putting your full faith and credit behind me for the last year as I completed the term that was left open by Larry Ferdinand. It was a wonderful year. I feel like I have a wonderful rapport with my colleagues on the MPC board, and I hope that you will consider reappointing me for a full term for the MPC board. What I'd like to add to that is that I have a completely perfect attendance record for the last year. I didn't miss one meeting. I did all my research and my homework for every single hearing, and I believe that I had the best interest of our community at heart for every decision that we had to make. Additionally, by reappointing me to this board, you will be saying that you actually want to have a vibrant community here in Caddo Parish, and that you care about diversity, not just of culture, but of age, demographics, and about the geographic diversity of our board. Thank you, and have a nice day, and I appreciate your support.
Thank you. Next one is Al Moore.
Little guilt trip on you.
I don't have a card, but I'd like to speak.
Al Moore, 3711 Crestview Drive, Shreveport, Louisiana. Personally, I want to thank the Caddo Parish Commission for what they do for our ministry, which is the Christian service. Once again, Sister Margaret started the program in 1970, and we are having one of our major fundraisers that's coming up, which is the Christian Service Telethon. And I want to personally invite you all to come down and help support us. I want to especially thank Comcast because they donate their time to us every year. And without your support, we can't keep doing what we're doing every year. We're still feeding 2 hot meals a day to the hungry, 364 days a year. And I want to personally thank you all again. And our telethon will be held December 13th from 12 noon to 6 p.m. on Comcast Cable. Thank you.
Got my plea.
All right, thank you, Mr. Moore.
Dr. Everson.
Give us your name.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen of the Caddo Parish Commission. Kenneth R. Epperson Sr., 3822 Treat Drive, Shreveport, Louisiana, 71119. I'd like to speak in reference, in the absence of Mr. Michael T. Newman, whom I will be recommending today as a choice for the MPC board. Mr. Newman, if you would look at the flyer that I handed out, is highly qualified. He's a registered architect. He's done work in Texas, Florida, Louisiana, Mississippi, and basically all over the nation. He has a company, Newman and Carlisle. He has the type of qualifications and expertise that I think the MPC sorely needs. Basically, we're coming into finishing up the UDC. We're going to be working on the master plan. We have a new executive director at the MPC, as well as some new members on this body, and I think it would be relevant and prudent that we would give him serious consideration and nominate him on the MPC board because his type of leadership and qualifications are sorely needed. Thank you very much.
All right, next item.
Next we move to visitors. Ms. Catherine Pace, 4-H Youth Development and Parish Chair.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having us. I'm Catherine Pace with the LSU Ag Center 4-H program, and we hope you all have received your Christmas invitation for our annual Christmas luncheon. That's next Wednesday. If you didn't, we put a flyer on your chair. We invite you to come to our office and meet other staff members next Wednesday from 11:30 to 12:30. We promise good food and good fellowship. But the real reason that we're here today is the LSU Ag Center has received a grant from the USDA to provide some community development. And we are partnering with SPAR at 3 community centers to provide programming for the youth, the family, and communities. The 3 centers are A.B. Palmer, Hollywood Heights, and Bilberry. And so we are working, we're in our 2nd year. The first year was a planning year, and we've just started programming this past summer and this fall at these community centers with the youth there. And so we brought with us today some of the youth from the A.B. Palmer Community Center, and they're going to share with you a little bit about what they've been doing this fall at the community center. But I wanted to recognize Ms. Baronet Robinson. She's the center manager, and so she's really the heart of the A.B. Palmer Community Center. And also my colleague, Jordan Peldiak, who works closely with these teens in this program. So without further ado.
Hi, my name is Jacoby Fuller, and I attend Uri Jive AP Magnet Middle School.
My name is Javion Glover. I attend Caddo Middle Magnus Middle School.
My name is Quayshawn Nicholson, and I attend Caddo Middle Magnet Middle School.
My name is Michael Coben, and I attend Uri Drive AP Magnet School.
And we are here from A.B. Palmer Community Center, Healthy Youth Strong Community Program. We are here to talk to you about our community and what we are doing in our community. And some of these things are what we like to see in our community, what we are doing in our community, and what we are looking forward to see. We would also like to talk to you about our garden and challenges we face in our community.
In this program, we've learned many things that will better us for the future. We've learned to speak in public in our after-school program. Also learned about new foods and trying new things like different varieties of squash and vegetable quesadilla. We've learned about new careers that we could choose from. We've played games, learned to work together. We've made fruit smoothies on blender bikes. We are harvesting vegetables in our garden. We are also bringing in the community together at our community events.
What we would like to see. In school, we would like to see no uniforms because we want the freedom to wear what we want. But we want better school equipment such as instruments, sports, computers, etc. And we want better transportation because we want better bus routes and shorter distances. In our community, we would like an energy saver to create better ways to save energy in our community. We would like new roads, sidewalks, and speed bumps because it's safer for cars to drive on. It prevents less car accidents. It's better protection for the cars, and it's making people follow the speed limit. We would also like to see better lighting because it's safer during the night for people in our community. More stores, so there's more varieties of places to shop around the community. We would like to see more locations of farmers markets in our community and more daycares for younger kids to go in our community. And we would like to see more security for more protection in the garden during the night.
The challenges that we face in our community are poor quality buses, bus stops that are far from each other, and we have lots of crime. We need better security to help our school and neighborhoods safe by addressing these challenges. It will help make our community a better learning environment.
Thank you for your attention today during our presentation. We look forward to learning more about gardening, health, careers, and new technology through the Healthy Youth Strong Communities program. I hope you will take consideration of our thoughts on how we can together improve our community. We welcome you to visit our community center to see the existing things happening there. Thank you.
We have a couple commissioners that want to say something.
Okay, Sure.
Commissioner Williams.
Where was the media? Did they get that? Wasn't no shooting and killing. Huh? Did you get that positive news? Let me just say, I'm in West Shreveport. We was exposed to 4-H about nutrition and agriculture because growing up in urban America, we never get a chance to interact with the animals. The only thing we probably see in our neighborhood is probably dogs and cats, maybe a horse every now and then. But to learn more about nature and what comes from the ground and interacting with goats and cows, and that's part of being exposed. And I think if they learn more how to be exposed and not be so one-dimensional growing up in a community, we can do a lot of things like you're doing. So I just want to commend you and your staff for you have a 4-H have a long history and a well-documented and demonstrated record being the forefront and ambassador for children. I never got a chance to be a cowboy, but I came close.
Yeah.
But I just want to say that I hope we can continue to fund, the government can continue to fund those type of programs that actually work. And how soon would you be in Lakeside and Allendale? You named all of them except.
We're actually in Allendale at the work with the community renewal at the Allendale Friendship House. So this is just one small part of everything that we do in 4-H. And so, yeah, we already work in the
Allendale.
Allendale.
Let me just ask one question, young man.
Yeah.
One of you asked me, what do you think about sagging of your pants? It's one of you.
That's a good question.
I think that's wrong. I don't think people should do that. I think that shows they don't have any intelligence.
Good answer.
Good answer. Thank you. Thank you.
Commissioner Watts.
Thank you, Mr. President. Ms. Pace, first of all, let me say thank you. It was someone just like yourself who inspired me to become a leader that I am today. I was a 4-H member and 4-H club president.
Yay.
And so I would like to say to you, young men, that I am very proud of what you're doing, and I hope to aspire the same things that you would like to see come out of your challenges and your goals. You are who I like to hear from. You are my people. You all are my people, and I believe in the people. So I want you to know that I believe in you, and I am expecting greater things out of you. So thank you.
Thank you.
Commissioner Cox.
Well, believe it or not, you're my people too.
Black Lives Matter.
It don't matter. I was in 4-H. I was from middle school, or what we called junior high back then. And if y'all have a chance, when you go to high school, get in Future Farmers of America. And that will lead you to a path of veterinarian school, working on a farm, or buying land and farming that land. That is a dying breed that pays good. And once people realize that, once the younger generation realizes that there's job opportunities out there within the animal or farming industry, y'all have got a bright future. You just got to grab it. So I would suggest that when y'all go to high school, look up and see if they offer FFA, Future Farmers of America. And I think out of these four, somebody's going to come out smelling like a rose, go to college, become a vet, and come back and get in your neighborhood and serve your neighborhood.
You're pushing it, man. You're pushing it.
Hey, what the man say? I have a dream. Thank you.
Commissioner Corcoran.
Good evening, Ms. Pace. Are you also associated with LSU Ag Center?
Uh-huh.
And you do the nutrition program?
We have other colleagues that do nutrition.
Okay. Okay. Well, I just want to give people a little tidbit of information. That nutrition program, A.B. Palmer Park, has been going on since the 70s. The first lady to do it was Ms. Simmons. She's gone on to be with the Lord. And my sisters also work with that program. Grace Cawthorn.
Yes, I know her very, yes.
Yeah, and it's an excellent program. I know the kids learn a whole lot. And I'm glad to see what you're doing. I'm glad you got these young men down here. That young man on the end, I tried to make him into an offensive lineman. I spent a lot of nights at the park trying to get him straight. So if football doesn't work out for him, he's got a chance in academics.
Please tell Grace I said hello.
You wasn't that good of a coach.
He may have been trying to work you into being a coach.
Let's keep it moving. Thank you, Ms. Pace, for coming and bringing the young men down here to let us hear what they have on their mind.
Thank you for having us.
Yeah, it's good.
Next item.
Next, we move to special resolutions. Special proclamation recognizing Mr. James Buggs, honoring World War II veteran and community activist.
Okay, please stand.
Move up, Mr.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Whereas the Caddo Parish Commission desires to give appropriate recognition to those citizens of Caddo Parish who reflect favorably and positively upon this parish. And whereas Mr. Buggs served this nation in World War II in the United States Army. And whereas all of the wars in recent memory, it was World War II that truly threatened our existence as a nation and as a cultural, diverse, democratic, and free society. Whereas Mr. Buggs was born in Summerfield, Louisiana in 1925 to Mr. and Mrs. Clifton and Lucille Buggs, became a Caddo Parish resident in 1972 and still currently lives here. And whereas Mr. Buggs has strong, multifaceted ties to the Shreveport community and has served on the board of directors of Those Who Care, was president of the Shreveport Negro Chamber of Commerce, participated as a past Grand Sword Bearer for the Prince Hall Grand Lodge for the state of Louisiana, holds a membership certificate in Prince Hall Masonry for 58 years and currently serves as a member of the American Legion Post number 525. Whereas Mr. Buggs is a member of the Galilee Baptist Church in Shreveport, where he served as a deacon board chairman, trustee board chairman, and Sunday school superintendent. Mr. Buggs is also a member of the male chorus and is the rental property manager for the church. Whereas Mr. Buggs also served as host of Concern 73, a public affairs program aired bi-weekly through KTAL Channel 6 in Shreveport. Whereas Mr. Buggs has also been a blessing to all those he has come in contact with over the years. Now therefore be it resolved by the Caddo Parish Commission this third day of December 2015 that it does hereby respectful appreciation and recognition of his contribution to this nation and parish does hereby proclaim December 27, Cherish Reign.
All right.
Yeah, James Buggs Day. In Caddo Parish, Louisiana, calling all citizens of the parish to honor his sense of community, dedication of American values, and spirit of selflessness, volunteering, and sacrifice that his attainment deserves. Attested, signed by President Lyndon Johnson, Vice President Matthew Lynn, Todd Hopkins, Commission Clerk.
Yeah. Pause.
She wasn't feeling good. She wasn't feeling good this morning.
Yeah. All five comment.
Let her sit there.
Everybody can sit down.
Give her some air.
Sit down.
911.
Okay.
There we go.
Good nurse.
Good nurse friend.
I'm old firefighter.
Wouldn't let him do anything on
Probably tell you been
while they're maintaining and doing that, I want to just say that I met Mr. James Buggs back in 1991, and he has been a enlightening to my life. I met him, and he has been a mentor to me and to many others, not only in District 2, but all across Shreveport and Caddo Parish. This man is 90 years young. He still goes to community meetings. He's still very active in the community. He's done a lot in the community. You can tell from some of the things that was on the proclamation that he's been active ever since he got back from the military, served in World War II as a veteran. And there's really not too many words I could actually say, but I want to make sure that I gave you your flowers while you were still here. And I didn't want to have to do this at a funeral. I wanted to do it while you were standing here beside me. So at this time, if you got anything to say, go ahead.
Mr. President, and to the entire group, including all of Shreveport, Louisiana, I don't have words at my disposal at this time to be able to tell you how much, how well I feel about what is happening to me. I don't know if I could ever tell you how thrilled I am to be able to stand before you, because I had no dreams that nothing like this would happen. It was just a matter of me going on, hoping I was doing the right thing most of the time. So, with me not having words at my disposal, I do want to think in terms of one word, and I want that word to be the real word. Thank you, thank you, thank you very much.
Yes, two people want to talk.
I want to talk to him. He know me, Mr. Bug.
Well, he may need to sit down. Y'all don't make him stand.
Yeah.
Is he okay?
Mr. Buggs, good to see you. And we are members of American Legion Post 14. And I'd just like to state that I'm giving Mr. Johnson a charge for 2016. That's to nominate you for one of the 11 veterans that we will be honoring for their military and community service. So, Mr. Johnson, make sure you nominate Mr. Buggs for next year's parade and honor ceremony. All right. Thank you.
Commissioner Cox.
As we go through the times that we're in right now, it's because of your dedication and your sacrifice when you were a young man that has given this country the strength it needs to go through the perils that we're dealing with right now. And I wish young men of today would follow your footsteps and serve this country and just be a man like you are and dedicated to this country like you were. And I surely appreciate everything you've done in your lifetime to make Caddo your home and to honor this country that we love so much. So thank you.
Thank you. I'm so delighted.
Commissioner Williams.
Appreciate it much.
Bug.
Okay.
How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Great, great.
Mr. Buggs,
Hey,
you know,
go ahead.
we go way back when my two sons had their first job. You mentored them over the, I think the clerk of court office. And everybody said around this horseshoe, your unselfish dedication, commitment, and the reason why people like me and Commissioner Johnson and others get to be where we at because you paid the ultimate price.
Thank you.
That was service during a civil rights movement when people had to sit at the back of the bus. Couldn't even go to the same school, segregation. And you endured all that. And when it served in our armed forces and came back to a country called America. So it's not always what you can do for your country, but what can your country do for you? So we appreciate your, people like me, I'm very grateful, because I wouldn't be where I am today because I rest on the shoulders of giants and icons like you and Pastor Edward Jones and Harry Blake and many others, and Eddie Jones and my family. So I just can't say enough. This new generation feel like they are entitled to everything. Don't want to pay no dues. They don't have to do anything. They want to come in and be the CEO. Don't want to start at the bottom nowhere. They don't have no respect for history. And because of history, we are where we're at today because of history. So maybe we need to get back and tell this new millennium generation that they will also too rest on the shoulder of the giant. And things just get the way they are because everybody just wanted to get along and be kind. A lot of people died, paid sacrifice, got killed, blood, washed down like dogs, and you still are here to tell your story. So I don't take freedom for granted, and I know it came with a price, and sometimes it came with your life. So thank you for all the work that you're still doing and continue to be a mentor to people like me and others that are sitting around this hardship. Thank you for your
I give you just, if you don't mind, I give you just a little bit of history. Is it okay?
Yes, sir.
I went into Okinawa, into Japan, into the Philippines, and also into, did I say Japan? Well, anyway, for the I went in there also. And so in 8 states here in the United States, and when I came from overseas, getting my discharge from Texas, I'm not going to be talking about nobody from Texas now. From Texas, I got on the bus, went and had me a seat right about the middle of the bus. The bus driver said, no, you got to go back there to that curtain back there. So there I was. Been all over the country. Doing 8 states here in the United States, and all of those places overseas. Into foxholes, and you name it. And I came back and had to go to the back. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Bush, you got 2 more commissioners. Commissioner
and I've been wondering where your boy was. Where is he now?
One of them didn't turn out so good. You did good with the other one.
You still got a couple more commissioners, Mr. Bush.
2 more folks want to talk to you, sir. Yeah, 2 more folks want to talk to you. Yes, sir.
No problem with my part.
Okay.
If I can handle it.
How you doing, Mr. Buggs? Very briefly.
All right,
First,
great,
thank you for your
great.
service to this country. And
Doing fine.
good. And I want to also be able to sit here and say that when the service they talked about you did at Galilee Baptist Church, that I was there as a youth, as a deacon, as a member of the trustee board, chairman of the youth, the superintendent of the Sunday school. And I remember serving under you as a youth at the Sunday school at the church on Snow Street. So I just want to publicly thank you, and thank you for the mentoring and encouragement that you provided to me and my brothers and sisters.
Thank you. Thank you. How's Mama?
Yes, sir, Mr. President. I just want to say I never knew you personally, but my life is so much enriched, and I'm so much blessed to know that I've been in contact and met such a fine person like you. And it's because of people like you that I'm even able to be where I am, or to even go anywhere that I want to go, because you paid the ultimate price and you sacrificed, and I appreciate you.
Thank you.
Mr. Thibodeau.
Fortunately, things have changed, because today you're sitting in the front row.
Say it again?
I said things have changed, fortunately, because today you're sitting in the front row.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Probably deserves it.
Next item.
I'll go ahead and vote on this.
No, we did already.
I think we just moved from today.
All right, let's vote. Yes. Okay.
It's not up yet.
Not up.
Don't you come and get that thing fixed?
Waiting on the operator.
Did
We do a hand vote?
Did you come and get it fixed by your last meeting?
Oh, they did that.
All in favor, raise your right hand.
It passed by acclamation.
That's by acclamation. Next item.
Move to adopt the regular minutes.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Lynn, seconded by Commissioner Watts. See no one that wish to speak? Oh, you want to speak?
I thought we was.
Yeah, we're gonna vote by right hand. All in favor, right hand, please. That's anonymous. Unanimous. Your hand up, Constance?
Yeah. Don't pick on me.
Anybody on the board for communiques? Oh, Commissioner Thibodeau.
Yeah, I just want to clear some things up with our legal folks, because I think the public needs to know the truth. On the airways today, one of our all-time favorite supporters, Mr. Stonecipher, said a couple of things that I think need to be cleared up for the public. Number one, he said that former Commissioner Stephanie Lynch was orchestrating our legal program on our CPCRS suit, and I wanted to let the public know if that was correct or not.
That is not correct. I can honestly say I haven't spoken with her, nor am I aware that she's spoken with any outside counsel regarding the matter.
Okay, I also spoke to Mr. Arsenault, and he said that same with him. So that's not a true statement. And he also mentioned that our initial case was thrown out of court because it was a poor case, and that the judge laughingly just threw it out.
That is not correct. The state alleged that there was no matter in controversy. If you recall, our case initially was filed before Mr. Stonecipher's suit, filed before the auditor's report or anything was in the public record. We were the first to bring the public record. And the matter that was in the first suit is still being litigated in Mr. Stonecipher's suit. So we haven't suffered any losses by that matter being dismissed in that case.
Attorney.
Okay, I thought it was important, since this was on the public airways yesterday and this morning, that we do something public also. And finally, just in support of the individual that will be taking my place, and not Mr. Stonecipher, but a couple other folks who have been giving him a hard time, and he has not even taken the oath of office. And he above a lot of people, has already spent a ton of money, giving his money that he will earn over the next 4 years to the community foundation. So, and he's gone the extra mile with the ethics department in Baton Rouge to be sure that, because of some of the boards he serves on, that whatever he needs to do, that he's going to do it legally. And I just want to say that it's very unfair to someone who has not even been sworn in, not even cast a vote yet, and already have some of the negative people that write their blogs already giving considerable criticism to him, and I wanted to clear that up publicly also. Thank you.
No one else? Oh, Commissioner Evers.
Okay, just like to state that the Timberline Homeowners Association will hold its annual business meeting December the 7th at 6 o'clock p.m. at the Westview Christian Church, 7188 Greenwood Road, and 6 Greenwood Road and McMichael Street. Grassroots Forum will hold its monthly meeting Thursday, December the 10th, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. at J. Shanae's Magnolia Tea Restaurant. Ms. Helen Godfrey Smith, President and CEO of Shreveport Federal Credit Union, will be our guest speaker. We all know during the holidays we have a tendency to overeat and emphasize on safety as far as frying your Thanksgiving turkey, not catching the house on fire, or your Christmas decorations. However, there is another thing that we need to be cognizant of, and that's our fiscal and our financial responsibility. So we'll have a tendency not to overspend and have ourselves in a great amount of debt in the upcoming year. Plus, we will also be giving some snippets relative to income tax seasons coming up. be given information. The public is welcome and invited to attend to receive that information. I've set the date for my annual District 12 informational meeting. It will be Thursday, January the 28th, 2016 at 6 o'clock p.m. The venue that we had previously used the last few years has outgrown the parking as well as the facilities. This year we will be at the Western Hills Baptist Church, 4153 Pines Road, where we have ample space for parking as well as make sure we can accommodate all the citizens that would want to come out. So please put that on your schedule. Also, our 5th annual Veterans Parade and Honor Ceremony will be held Sunday, November the 13th, 2016 at 2 o'clock p.m. at the Louisiana State Fairground. That's the last day of the State Fair, which customarily we hold it. I don't know if many of you are aware, Sunday, November the 8th of 2015, the last day of the fair this year, we broke the record within the attendance out of the entire history of the State Fair for a one-day event, not only because of the parade, but because of the weather and the fair. There were 66,000 people that was counted, and hundreds were turned away because they could not get in. So we're asking that you put that on your calendar, and let's make sure we continue to make this something that's viable for Northwest Louisiana and Shreveport and Bossier. Thank you.
Commissioner Dominique.
Just wanted, Stacey Brown touched on this, just wanted to be sure and invite everybody that Christmas on Caddo is this Saturday. It starts off with, actually in Vivian, you had some parades, and then, of course, later that night around dark time, we'll have our annual fireworks display at the Earl Williamson Park in Oil City. So it doesn't cost anything. It's been going on for quite some time. It's a really, really nice fireworks show. If anybody wants to come out to it, we'd like to invite you. Come out and enjoy the festivities. There'll be booths and food booths and crafts and arts and things like that. So we hope everybody comes out and enjoys Christmas on Caddo this Saturday. Thank you.
All right. Dr. Wilson. Yes, sir. President Johnson, good afternoon, Commissioners. I believe we have requested information from Comcast. Right. So today we invited Mr. Ronnie Colvin here today to speak to you all. So Mr. Colvin, would you please come forward? Comcast guests.
Yes, I'm Ronnie Colvin. I'm the Senior Director of External Affairs for Comcast, and I also have with me Frederick Levy. He is he's going to come up as well and share a little bit of information, technical information, but I want to give you an overview. First, let me say I'm very humbled to be following Mr. Buggs to the podium. Thank you for your service. Each of you should have received a packet with some information in there. It's got my business card, and I think Mr. Levy also has his business card out there too. So what I wanted to just be able to share with you kind of some things that Comcast has going on in the community, some of the work that we're doing, as well as kind of, you can see on the first page there, our employment statistics. We employ today approximately 150 people in the Shreveport area. That's employees that work directly for Comcast, as well as some incremental contractors. We have about 800 miles of fiber throughout the state of Louisiana now. Comcast operates not only in Shreveport, in this area, we operate in the Ouachita Parish, in West Monroe and Monroe, Terrebonne Parish in Houma, and the St. John Baptist Parish down in Laplace. Last year we delivered collected $184,000 in franchise fees that was paid to the parish, and obviously we have been making a lot of investments over the years. We'll actually celebrate our 10-year anniversary operating as Comcast in this market mid next year, about July of 2016. So we're approaching our 10-year anniversary. A lot of what I do, I represent 3 states. I represent Mississippi, Louisiana, and Alabama. Is community projects as well as other duties. This year, just kind of touch on a few things we've done. We had a very successful Comcast Cares Day here. We had 224 volunteers in April, And our biggest project was right here on the riverfront. We had did a lot of remodeling and just kind of sprucing up beds and some things like that on the riverfront. We now have a product. I included a flyer about that product, Internet Essentials. It's for low-income families. It's a $9.95 internet product. We now have over 1,100 people connected to that product, and I want to personally thank you. There is a link on the Parish website to the Internet Essentials to our website, so I appreciate that. And it is not only is it for families that don't have internet access, they can also buy a computer from us for $150, and Comcast pays the difference in that. So that's a product that I'm always doing a lot of promotion on, and I appreciate your partnership there. We just finished a very successful United Way drive. That was in October. We raised $7,000, and that just came from our employees, all of our employees here locally, and that money will stay right here for the United Way here in the parish. And we also gave away 4 scholarships this year, and those we're actually now, the window is open. We're taking applications for 2016 scholarships, and they're called Leaders and Achievers scholarships. We look for students that are not only have the scholastic merit, but also are leaders in their school and leaders in their community. And of course, we've had a long standing relationship with a lot of partners. Primarily, one of our most long-standing partners here has been with the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club. We've got them a $15,000 grant in 2014 and another $15,000 grant this year for computer labs for the children that attend the Salvation Army Boys and Girls Club. And we've obviously, the investments that we've done in our network really allow us to bring in some of our advanced products, and probably one of the products that you may or may not have heard about is our X1. That's the latest technology that Comcast offers in our company. It's an IP enabled delivery system for our video product. We're doing cloud DVR now, and that product is here and we're rolling it out in a big way here in Shreveport. We've also got we just announced a talking guide. That's kind of another piece of technology we just rolled out. Basically take your guide, it's got a microphone on it, say tune to ESPN, it'll automatically take the X1 box to whatever channel that you ask it to tune to. You could also search with the voice enabled remote, and again, a very unique product there. Hotspots have been just about every community I go into. That's one of the things that everybody asks is, how do we get more Wi-Fi into our communities? Because so many people now they take their tablets and their smartphones everywhere they go, and we now have 1,233 Wi-Fi hotspots across Shreveport, and those are all every business that has our service automatically we turn that business into a hotspot. So that means if you're in a sandwich shop and you go in and if they have our service, you automatically have a Wi-Fi hotspot there available while you're there. One of the things that our company, not just here in Shreveport, but our company has done in the last, actually been for 2015, is we're reworking our total customer experience model. And Frederick will share with you some of the technical stats. We've seen some of the fruits of our labor, and one of the biggest things that pet peeves I think that our customers have had is they want us there. If they have an appointment, they want us to be there when we say we're going to be there. We offer 2-hour appointment windows now, and the goal of our company is to be there 100% of the time. If we tell you we're going to be there between 10 and 12, that's our goal, is to be there 100% of the time when we promise you. We're also dispatching now our contractors and holding them to the same standards that we're operating under. And we've tried to make it a little easier to do business with us. If you're returning equipment now, we've got partnerships with UPS where you can do that. We've still got the local store that we've always had there on Quallen Road. And we've also got a neat feature, and Frederick will tell you a little bit more about it. It's a My Account app that you can have on your smartphone. You can actually pay your bill. If you've got an appointment, you can go in and look and confirm an appointment. You can actually make an appointment using the My Account app. So, several new features like that. And the other big thing is that we're hiring 5,500 care agents nationwide. I'm from Jackson, as I mentioned, and we've got now about 1,300 folks in 2 different call centers there in Jackson, Mississippi, that are, a lot of those calls that come out of Shreveport land there, and they have grown their number there by about 300. And it's the model that the Comcast is operating under now with the big centers that are specialized. If I would now, I'd like to bring up Mr. Frederick Levy. He's the local manager here. He leads the local team, and I thought it was very important that he be able to, where you have a name and a face together. I'm always available, but for issues that arise, Frederick is the go-to person here. He's been here now about a year, lives right downtown, and he's been a great addition to the team here. So I'd like Frederick to say a few words.
Change already.
Well, good afternoon, everyone. I'm Frederick Levy, and thank you for the invitation to come here and talk to the commission. Just a brief summary about me and my career. I started with Comcast about 8 years ago after serving 5 years and 2 months in the United States Army with the 104th Airborne. When I started off with Comcast, I started off as a new hire technician. And quickly I rose through the ranks, through the ComTech ranks, to the ComTech 4 level, which is our business class technician. And I was promoted shortly after that to manage technical operations at the division level, over 13 states of compliance and project management, and really traveling around to make sure that the processes were in place and we were adhering to some of our standards. Shreveport has always stood out to me as a place that I'd like to come down to and see if I could help out in a meaningful way to deliver a better product, deliver a better experience for our employees so that they can go forth and deliver a better experience for our customers. And I think we've done that. When I moved down here in October of last year, I moved right downtown. So, I'm here in the community, and I often work with folks in the community in regards to Comcast business. I employ just about 70 technicians with 6 supervisors and 20 contractors that help us out whenever necessary. And just as Ronnie mentioned, we are focused on the customer experience, and that's been the case since day one, since I've been here. Some of the initiatives that we've put together, just a few of them, was our Project Clean Sweep and Node Optimization. So we've gone through since last year and have touched at least 6,000 customers' homes proactively at no cost to the customer to clean up what we call ingress and some of the jargon along that is noise coming out of the customers' homes. What that effectively does is that impairs the experience for customers throughout what we call nodes. And until we get there and clean up all of that, then there's a chance that not everyone can experience the consistent services that we promise and guarantee to our customers. And we've done this with our technicians. I think we've done a pretty good job of engaging the community that we are cleaning up. The success of that shows with some of the customer growth, our product growth with X1, with the X1 product, and our internet customers. We've done the same thing in what we call MDUs, our multi-dwelling units as well. We've touched about 10 complete apartment complexes where we've gone in and cleaned up all of the wires that are outside, toned and tagged those wires to make sure that they're going to the proper apartment and making sure that those customers are having a consistent experience as well. All of this is really so that we can continue and consistently deliver our next generation of products, which is our X1 platform, our cloud DVR, and our 150 megabits per second internet speed, which is a very high speed that customers enjoy every day. Home automation is another part of that in our our Xfinity Home product. That's a product that for the price of a pizza every month, you can automate your homes and turn on lights whenever you're not home, see when your kids arrive from home through some of the options that comes with that package, with sending a text message once a sensor is breached. You can monitor video cameras, and it's also a monitoring service where our central monitoring service will let you know if your alarm goes off. Some of the other options that we have for customers now, some help options like Ronnie mentioned, was viewing My Account on any of your mobile devices. With My Account, you can view your bill, you can pay your bill, you can troubleshoot any issues that you have in your home, down to which device is not acting correctly. You can also schedule an appointment for a technician to come out, and you can see the face and the time that the technician is going to arrive at your home, all through this application, and this application called My Account. I think that is, something that gives my customers, your constituents, some peace of mind in that they want to make sure that we're going to be there when we say that we're going to be there. Our product line starts at the customer's home. Our first product was video, but now we are really advancing to not only making sure that we have all the products that consumers will need in their residence, but also small to enterprise business as well. Again, I appreciate the opportunity to be here with you, and I look forward to continued success with Comcast here in Shreveport.
Okay, we got some questions to you, Commissioner Cox.
A while back, first off, thank you for your service. Welcome to Shreveport.
Yes.
A while back, there was a report that y'all were going to go up on your rates on business class of internet and business class internet service. Is that true? And what percentage of your customers would that affect, and will it affect people? I have internet service at my house, and will it affect me? Because that was a lot of questions that was coming up, and the Times didn't really answer it that well. So answer it now.
There was a rate adjustment, I believe, in August, but there is not anything that I'm aware of for any of our business customers. I'm not aware of any rate increases on our business class product at all.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
So the rate increase was in August?
I believe that was the correct date. It was, I believe that was in effect, maybe the notification was August. It may have taken effect in September. I know they usually stagger it by cycle, depending on which cycle you're on, so it could have bled over, but I know there was an adjustment on, and I think it had touched to possibly some of the video product as well as the internet product.
Okay. I want to thank you too for coming here on when we asked you to come. I've also got some calls about the internet and the price of going up, and it's been a couple months ago. So I kind of wanted to bring you guys here so that you can tell your side of the story, or pretty much why the services are going up. And with all the list of stuff that you just said that's new to this area, and you're gonna get price increase based upon that. But we just kind of wanted people to understand why their rate is going up, because they get a bill and it says rate increase, and then they go ballistic and they start calling and saying, well, why is it going up? And I don't see anything that's changed. But there are some things that probably have changed in the background that they don't know about. So it's best for us to let you come, tell your side of the story, and then those people will then get the opportunity to say, do they want to stay with Comcast or do they not? And this is the prime opportunity for you to do that. A couple of incidents that I had that people had as problems, I mean, I sent you emails on them, and you pretty much made sure that it got done, and I appreciate you doing that.
Absolutely. I put my business card, and that's one of my roles, is if there are constituent issues, please get them to me and let me handle them. And I will promise you, I will close the loop with you after after that escalation is complete. And then that's,
and I
like
can
I say,
attest to that.
yeah, and that's what we do. The last thing I want you to have to do is have to worry about our business. I would rather just be able to tell you it's taken care of, and then at the end of it, say this is what happened, and where you can close the loop if you need to with the constituent.
Thank you, Commissioner Williams.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Also, I'd like to echo what Commissioner Cox and others had. Young man, thank you for your service, and that was a great presentation. And we know in an environment of competitiveness with your competition, we do know with inflation, things sometimes costs have to go and spread it to all of us. But we do understand the nature of business. But one of the things concerns me as we talked about your products and your service is I'm always the one to feel the pulse of the people regarding economic opportunities and to be inclusive. Do you have any type of fair share plan, a minority business enterprise plan, a disadvantaged business, or what type of inclusion you have? Because, it's good to provide the service, but also we need to be in the habit of trying to empower minorities to become business and entrepreneurs with Comcast as well. So those are the things concerns me. Because I know the majority of a lot of the people that look like me probably use your service. However, we want to make sure that they're also in the business try to do business with Comcast and empower the minority community to be self-sufficient. So they also can provide jobs and pay taxes as well. So if you don't have a DBE or a minority enterprise or a fair share program in the private sector, there are some people around here and even in the room that may can assist you in developing a program that reflects the diversity in our community. Oftentimes we come to our community and we appreciate the service, appreciate the taxes you pay, franchise and taxes. However, we also need to recognize we're better together when we be inclusive and make sure that people also have an opportunity to do business with Comcast. So hopefully you can sit down and talk to our purchasing director, Ms. Valerie, or there are some people in the room, our economic development representatives in the room, Ms. Dudley, and there are also the strategy council of the minority suppliers are also reach out to them and see how y'all can coexist together. And that will be something that I'll be gone, but I'll keep my pulse on you and find out that you're reaching out to make it available. Maybe set up a day of doing business with Comcast so people know how to do business with you. A lot of them just don't know. So, information is powerful, and hopefully you can reach out and touch base with some of the people I just named. But here again, thank you for informing us. Oftentimes we get it, so we should be proactive. So inform us, inform this body, so they can take it back to their constituents, so they can answer the tough questions. Why rates are going to, who the service is going to affect, poor people, senior citizens. So here again, I appreciate the team that I see, the diversity here. Say that you're going in the right direction. So here again, thank you, and thank the executive and the management of Comcast.
Commissioner Escudé.
I just want to thank you for the improvement, obvious improvement in the level of service, because I don't get near the many phone calls I used to get, service being down. I realized, had you known what whoever the powers that be had known beforehand, they'd probably never bought it from Time Warner, the dated infrastructure and all that. But anyway, I get much less calls and the service is much better, much more consistent. So it's obvious that over time, the energy, effort, dedication to improve that has changed. So, my hat's off to you. On the side note, I personally don't understand still every now and then while I'm sitting in my den and my wife's in her den and we're watching the same show, and then I get the blue screen on my TV and says, you're not authorized to be watching this, and I go, what do you, whatever. But anyway, those are the mysteries of life. But overall, y'all greatly improved over the years, and I appreciate it. Thank you.
I appreciate you sharing that. I have to say, this young man to my right is he's an asset to not only to the community but to Comcast, and a lot of the changes you've seen are a direct result of the team that he's put together here locally, and they're all, when we look at the technicians he's hired, it's reflective of the community.
Well, I hope he's happy here in our community. Wish him the best.
Thank you for coming. That's it.
Any other questions?
That's it.
Good.
All right. Thank you very much.
Oh, Commissioner Epperson.
No, I was, before we leave the administration.
Okay, go ahead. Well, administration is just...
Oh, you're not
good.
Okay.
Thank you, Ron. Hey, good to see you again.
Dr. Wilson, you got a question?
Yes, sir.
Let's see, Ms. Frazier.
Yes, sir.
Okay, I think I read something about Commissioner-elect Atkins' ethics reporting. Is his ethics report any different than what we do?
No,
I mean,
sir.
I thought we got to do what, the campaign, the disclosure form, right?
Yes, sir.
Of our income and our spouses.
Yes, sir.
Our mortgage, our salaries, where we get our income, right?
Yes, sir.
Everybody does that. Okay, if we run in an election, first timers got to do the campaign, do disclosure. You know, your where you get your money, your liabilities, assets, right? Everyone does that. Then you do your regular campaign finance reports, right?
Yes, sir.
Everyone's entitled to that. Then we have to do our ethics training annually, right? Whether we do it CBO on computer-based individually, or we do it through the Police Jury Association in the group. And then, of course, by April the 15th of each year, once we elected, we have to do the finance disclosure.
That's in May, yes, sir.
So we all does basically the same reporting, right?
Yes, sir.
Any boards that we own, there are some boards that we may be on that we have to do depending on, you know, which level it is, we have to do that. But I just wanted to make sure that we got that clear because didn't want nobody to think somebody else is holier than thou, you know, because we all have to do the same reporting, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Who's the attorney for the town of Greenwood now? Does Greenwood contract their attorneys, or do they hire them, or what?
Yes, sir.
Who's going to be handling like negotiations when we come into the cooperative endeavors?
I have to look. I think it may be Charles Grubb. That's,
Charles, I thought it was Jerry Jones. So Charles Grubb is the attorney now? Yep.
I think so.
Oh. Okay.
Just everything.
Yeah, I could have told you that. I thought he was retired. He had enough. All right. No wonder Bob's been putting me at the table. Okay.
You feel better or worse about it?
You're going to get Attorney General opinion, man. Find out. Okay, I got that. Same finance disclosure reporting for everybody. Don't care who you are. Okay.
I lost. There you get
All
back.
right. Okay. Charles Grubb.
Find you.
Okay. Oh, and I forgot one more deal in my communiques. Let us not forget Monday, December the 7th, the 74th anniversary of Pearl Harbor Day, in which 2,400 Americans' life was lost in Honolulu, Hawaii. That's all I have, Mr. President. Thank you.
Commissioner Cox, you got something for the administration?
Yeah, yesterday when we were in our budget, how soon will you be getting the Attorney General letter to him for the law enforcement?
Early next week.
Thank you, ma'am.
Dr. Wilson, does that conclude?
Yes, sir, it does.
All right. Next item.
Next, we move to President's report.
My part was done with the Comcast report. Next item.
Next, we move to public hearing on zoning ordinances. Ordinance number 5548 of 2015 regards to zoning case P2115, amending the zoning of property located on the south side of North Lake Shore.
Public hearing on ordinance number 5548 is now open. Is there anyone that wants to speak in favor of this ordinance? Is there anyone that wants to speak in opposition of? Public hearing on ordinance number 5548 is now closed.
Ordinance number 5549 of 2015 regards to zoning case P2215, amending the zoning of property located on the west end of New Bern, approximately 614 feet north of water's edge.
Public hearing on 5549 is now open. Is there anyone that wants to speak in favor of this ordinance? Is there anyone that wants to speak in opposition of? Public hearing on ordinance number 5549 is now closed.
Ordinance number 5550 of 2015 regards to zoning case P2315, amending zoning of property located on southeast of water's edge, approximately 220 feet southeast of Abbey Glen.
Public hearing on ordinance number 5550 is now open. Is there anyone that wants to speak in favor of this ordinance? Is there anyone that wants to speak in opposition of? Public hearing on ordinance number 5550 is now closed.
That'll close the public hearing on zoning ordinances. We move to public hearing on ordinances. Ordinance number 5551, amending the budget of estimate revenues and expenditures for general fund for the year 2015 to provide additional appropriation of $42,000 for legal fees.
Public hearing on ordinance number 5551 is now open. Is there anyone that wants to speak in favor of this ordinance? there anyone that want to speak in opposition of? Public hearing on ordinance number 5551 is now closed.
Ordinance number 5553, declaring certain adjudicated properties to be surplus and authorize the parish administrator designate to sell parish interests.
Ordinance number 5553 is now open. Is there anyone that want to speak in favor of this? Is there anyone that want to speak in opposition of? Ordinance number 5553 is now closed.
Ordinance number 5554, for the purpose of economic development, authorizing execution of an intergovernmental agreement between the Parish of Caddo and the City of Shreveport and appropriating funds for a loan to Sari and Company and designee.
Ordinance number 55, public hearing on ordinance number 5554 is now open. Is there anyone that want to speak in favor of this ordinance? Is there anyone that want to speak in opposition of? Public hearing on ordinance number 5554 is now closed.
That concludes the public hearing on the ordinances. We move to zoning ordinance for final passage. Ordinance number 5548 of 2015 regards to zoning case P2115.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved by the chair, seconded by Commissioner Williams. Commissioner Thibodeau.
In Globo, 5549 and 5550.
Second.
Have a motion to englobo ordinances number 5548, 5549, 5550. It's been seconded by Commissioner Cox. Is there anyone that want to speak on that? If not, let's vote.
Just do by hand. For some reason, it's not working.
Okay. On the motion, right hand, please. Right hand. That's 12.
Hands in hand.
I want the right hand. Left hand could be.
All right, next we move to
Next item.
Move to ordinances for final passage. Ordinance number 5554, adopting the budget of estimate revenues and
So moved.
expenditures for the Shreveport Memorial Library.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, seconded by Commissioner Watts.
I want to speak on it.
As the maker of the motion, you want to say something?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know that we only, it's a go-through in order to approve their funding, but I want to go on record saying to the library board to ensure that, like I ask everybody else to be when they come up here, to be inclusive, make sure your vendors represent the diversity of our parish and our city, make sure your employees represent the diversity of our city, make sure you have a good DBE, MBE, minority enterprise program that represents the diversity of our city. Because if we're going to truly be a city of one and city together, it must show it in the economic industry as well. So hopefully, I don't have to set the tone for Caddo Parish in terms of being inclusive, because economic opportunity does matter. And that's how you improve the quality of life, giving people an opportunity to do business with the government and the private sector. So we can expand and grow these small businesses together in the public and the private sector. So hopefully, when we ask you to allow us to vote on your budget in the coming years, and we ask for a report regarding what is your relationship in the community. We hope that by that time we be found or some business that reflect the diversity of our parish, and hopefully you're already doing that. And hopefully my colleague will continue to ask those questions. Here again, we appreciate the work. You have done a great job in improving. I almost use it like an office now. The copies are great, the computers are great job, high tech. And the kids in the community love the library. I think you probably have more traffic in the library now than you ever had before, because of the vision you have for technology. So Wi-Fi and those. So a lot of the poor kids in my day don't have nowhere to go but the library. And I want to thank you guys for the vision and for the work that you're doing to make the library user-friendly. Because the cornerstone of a community just shouldn't be a church, a high school. It should be a library not dilapidated housing and poor living conditions. So here again, thank you for the facelift.
The second of that motion, do you want to say anything, Commissioner Watts?
No, thank you.
Commissioner Thibodeau?
In Globo 5551 and 5553.
Second. Got a motion to englobo ordinance number 5544, 5551, and 5553. Anyone that you want to talk about that? Okay. Let's vote.
Try it again.
Oh, you want to see hands?
No, it's taken at this time. Bowman?
Work.
That passes 12-0.
That'll move us to 55, ordinance number 5554 for the purpose of economic development authorizing.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner Williams, second by Commissioner Watts. Commissioner Lynn?
Motion to postpone this till next year.
Second. Been moved to postpone this to next year by Commissioner Lynn, seconded by Commissioner Dominique. Okay. Anybody on the board for that?
I won't speak on that.
Commissioner Williams? Well, ask to make of the motion. You want to say something?
I handed, I think, everybody something the other day, day before yesterday, in reference to this purchase, just looking to see exactly where the money was coming from for the city, which I showed y'all the proof that and confirmed it with Dr. Wilson, that the money from the city actually came from the DDA, and also the holds in place. There is no minority employment lock-in on this, that they can bring people in from out of state, and he has said that he plans on bringing his own people in to do this. There is no guarantee by the purchaser of this. So Jim Sorry has no personal guarantee on this. This is simply a corporation that is doing this. That the stake that the parish has on this is huge, and the commitment to the developer, the commitment by the developer, is not. That the concept of this is a great idea, but I handed today to you 2 flyers on 2 different projects where it's fallen through the cracks because he's not living up to his end of the bargain. And the governmental agencies that are trying to make this happen are not able to support it. I ask that we bring the person that we hired to help this. We hired Giselle Dudley this year to help us with economic development, and this is economic development, and to my understanding, she has not been brought to the table to scrutinize and run this through a fine-tooth comb. And we need Northwest Louisiana Economic Development and Giselle Dudley's expertise to look over this, to give us a unbiased opinion on what is best, not only for Caddo Parish, but for our community as a whole. Now, I can tell you personally, I want to see this deal go through. I want to see it happen, but I think that we would be remorseful in passing this today, and this is the last meeting of the year, and then just throwing it on the plate for next year's commissioners. I believe that this needs to be studied a little bit tighter. They tried to shove this down our throat last December, saying it had to be done before Mayor Glover left office. Well, obviously it doesn't have to be done before Mayor Glover left office, and it doesn't have to be done today either. This is something that, with further study and with some professional outside advice, that I'm willing to do it, but I'm certainly not willing to do it today. And I beg all of you to delay this decision until we can get, the person that we paid to help us with this, look at it. To my understanding, she has not even looked at this. Thank you. That's all.
As the seconder, you want to say anything?
No, I have nothing.
Commissioner Williams.
Let me say, thank you, Mr. Chairman. I beg to differ with my colleague, Commissioner Lynn. I think the mayor and her staff and attorneys, as my memory served me correct, sat down with the Economic Development Committee. Commissioner Escudé was chairing that committee, and many of us on the committee sat in on the meeting with the mayor. And we always talk about reaching across government lines and working together with our city. And this is a perfect opportunity to not deny or delay anything that's already been done. I think we have the competent staff to be able to vet anything that's not in our best interest. They have shown that. So why do we want to stop progress? That's one commissioner always want to stop progress when he can't get what he wants. And I just think that's not good community relationship when we're talking about working together. This project has been on the back burner for the last year or two, I believe. And anytime you, and I know this is taxpayers' money, there's a lot of things we've done we haven't got guarantees on it, but we still voted on it. We ain't gonna talk about 7.5 million. So let's not get started about guarantees. So hope that we won't delay this new relationship, this new energy, enthusiasm, and excitement and progress, and thinking outside the box and working with this new administration and this new mayor who came to us. Oftentimes we didn't hear much from the last administration. When we reached out over years trying to work with them, we were met with resistance and closed doors. But this mayor is reaching out to us. And we know the economic hardship is on the city, but we're trying to revitalize the downtown area to bring some through them excitement, walking wallets. They just built a new dollar store, a family dollar store, trying to bring people downtown. Downtown is the cornerstone of any community that you go in. And they're trying to reach out and trying to, is it perfect? No. And before it go to an extensive vetting with our parish attorney and parish administrator, they're not going to let us vote for something like this. It's not in the best interest of the taxpayers and risk their high rating. Don't try to bamboozle and hoodwink the people that it's not good. You know, don't do that. So I mean, don't delay and deny progress. That's not true. A lot of them sat on these meetings and sat in with these economic development boards, invited in on the conversation at the grassroots level with this project. I think it would be a sad commentary to always study. We've been studying stuff so long, never get nothing done. What you trying to say? Our administration not competent enough to tell us that we voted on something good?
They let you enter into the Swag Nation contract.
Oh shit.
I'm finished, Mr. Chairman.
Commissioner Epperson.
I don't plan to bamboozle or hoodwink nobody. I'm not going to be for this at any rate. I think this is strictly a private venture. There should be private capital. I think what I've heard, I believe the company will have a certain portion of a bank loan. Am I correct, Ms. Frazier?
That's correct.
And however, if we extend whatever amounts that we put in there, we will be second in line in the event of default.
Correct.
And I don't think you need Zazelle, Dudley, North Louisiana Economic Partnership, or nobody to tell you that. That's just not a good common sense venture that we should enter into. We are not venture capitalists. You know, nothing wrong with being venture capitalists to provide for our basic and our primary needs, which is roads, streets, bridges, and drainage for the citizens. But to get off into some financing, some apartments with some sort of elaborate scheme, that's not us. That is totally private. And if it was worthwhile, they'd be building that by now. Because people with money, there are people that got money out there. Money is cheap. And if it was a worthwhile venture and a good risk, the private entity will gobble it up. So I don't care if we study it or put it off or whatever. It's a bad deal, and I'm not going to be for it. Thank you.
Commissioner Cox.
Somebody refresh my memory as far as what the agreement was, as far as term, and there was somewhere in there along the lines of occupancy, as far as when the payback comes and occupancy. Because I'm reading this and there's nothing in here that we click on that'll tell me that. And me, Mike, and I believe it was John was in the meeting of when we met with him, and I walked out of there feeling pretty good. But over the time and what's come up with us in the commission, as far as what's good money, what's bad money, I'd just like to hear the terms one more time.
The answers that we got, Commissioner Cox, were that they're looking to stabilize occupancy a year after the renovations are completed. And then
what? I'm sorry, what did you say?
To stabilize occupancy, I'm assuming meet a certain threshold of occupancy in the building as far as occupying the apartments. And then payback would begin to take place over a 10-year period, 1 year after the stabilization has been reached.
It was under my understanding, Mike, correct me if I'm wrong, didn't he or did he not say at our meeting it would have to be 100% occupied before he could actually start?
No, that wasn't the agreement that we had when we left. I don't know what happened between now and then, but I mean, I remember the agreement, but that
yeah, I remember the agreement, but he said some things during that when we were trying to set that agreement up, so.
I don't recall him saying it had to be 100% now.
Administration said he thought he did too.
Well, he may be right. I just don't remember that part of it.
Well, I agree that, development downtown is everybody wants that. But at the, more and more I look at it, I would say I would vote to table this today and let the new commission look at it a little bit more, because the building's not going anywhere. From what he told us that day was that he's looking at other buildings to develop as well in the Shreveport market. So putting it off 30 more days before a vote is not going to put a hamper on him, because of, I think if he wants it bad enough, he'll wait. I'm not against the project, but like I made my statement pretty clear, is that 10 years for a payout on $600,000 is, is pretty much, and that had stipulations on it. So until we can read those stipulations and make sure, let's table this, is my recommendation. I'll follow the recommendation of Mr. Lynn. Thank you.
Commissioner Thibodeau.
I can think of about 100,000 good reasons why we should wait at least 30 to 60 days. And those 100,000 reasons are, today, I went up to finance and got with one of the finance people, and we pulled the legislative audit for December 31st of 2014, because what I wanted to find out was how much unassigned cash that they actually had. We had been told prior to this that they didn't have any. Well, I had a CPA look at it, one of our own, and we determined that there was $600,000 worth of unassigned cash as of a year ago. And so what I'm thinking is, if we can get them to put in a couple $100,000, that would mean that both the city and the commission could put in $100,000 less. So that, to me, that's the 100,000 reasons to wait 30 to 60 days, because they have $600,000 worth of unassigned cash, and I think DDA needs to have some skin in the game, and they have some skin to put in it. And so we have the potential of saving ourselves $100,000 if we're willing to wait, say 30 to 60 days. And so that's why I'm in favor of delaying it.
Commissioner Escudé.
Obviously seems that's the direction it's headed. It's a shame, though.
It is.
That this thing's been,
we're working on this a year and a half, and most of the members of the Economic Development Committee have attended the meetings, and we've made a lot of progress, got the city to partner with us, Thibodeau had some good recommendations, tweaked it. I believe, somebody answered this question, Ms. Fraser, the city they're prepared to do their part. Have they passed this formally?
Not that I'm aware of. I believe it's going to be on their agenda next week.
So it's going to be on the city's agenda. They're comfortable with it. They have worked out the details. The city's attorney, the parish's attorney, as comfortable as we can be on something like this. Sometimes, when you have what's soon to be a blighted property, and it's Petroleum Towers we're talking about, which Community Renewal owns, which is falling in disrepair daily, and is off the tax rolls. So sometimes you have to step in and be a partner to facilitate something happening, especially when every study and survey that we see time and time again, be it come from the city, our own, downtown common, whoever's doing it says that one of the number one pressing needs in this area is downtown living, and these are not low income, these are high dollar apartments and high end, and there's a market for it. And you got to start somewhere. I mean, you got to plant the first seed for it to spawn and take root and have the other seeds. So we've been going over this a year and a half. So if you want to delay it another month, all you're doing is just sending a message that, maybe we have more demands. But I don't know how many times we can come back and ask for something else or want to tweak it again until, people just kind of get fed up and say, enough's enough. They've done everything we've asked them to, both the city, Mr. Sari, and the parish up to this point. And like I said, the members of the Economic Development Committee are very familiar with it because they've lived it. And I understand for some of you, if it goes by 6 months and you don't review it, you go, okay, what's this all about? And then you got to be brought up to speed. And anyway, I'm comfortable with it. I'm comfortable all legal, and the city's legal has done a due diligence, and I'm going to support it. And I hope you'll reconsider support it moving forward. You got to realize one thing: we'll start getting payments back immediately, and we'll get a building, regardless of what happens. We may end up owning it in the end, along with the city, and then we'll have to turn it back. And regardless of even if the bank ends up with it, it's going to be back on the tax rolls.
Yeah.
And if the bank ends up with it, that's maybe better because then you go get your taxes. So, I think it's pretty well secured, and I'm going to support it. Thank you.
Mr. Dominique.
What are the terms? I know you said it's the $600,000 will be paid over a 10-year period. How much interest rate and how much are they going to be paid? Do we know those?
I think the proposal is for 2% interest rate. And what was your second question?
I guess they're going to pay a lump sum yearly. Is that right?
There's going to be an annual lump sum in 10 payments.
And when would it start being paid? Because Commissioner Escaday said immediately, so I'm trying to figure out when it would be.
According to this, answers to questions that we were sent back in June, they are looking at full occupancy at this particular time. The project was scheduled to be started in October, but they were looking at having the occupancy stabilized 1 year after completing the renovation, and then payments would start upon that stabilization. So about a year after the renovation was completed would be when the payments would start.
Okay, about a year after the stabilization, after they get some people there, pretty much 100% are stabilized. And Mr. Epperson brought up a good point. Obviously, we're not going to have first lien on this. We'll be a second or third lien holder.
You'd be a second lien holder.
I guess we'll be a second lien holder along with the city. Is that correct?
Correct.
I don't see why we shouldn't, I'm for Commissioner Lynn's motion. I'm going to vote to wait until next year, give us 30 more days to look at it too. So.
Mr. Bowman.
Just want a point of information. Hasn't the city already paid $400,000 yet, and when are they expected to do so?
It's my understanding that they are not voting to appropriate this money until next week.
Next week.
I do not think that so therefore it has not been paid.
Correct. But what we're doing is contingent also upon the city putting up money?
Yes.
So we changed our tune the last minute? Just putting it out there. Thank you.
Hadn't voted yet. Know what's gonna happen.
Attorney Frazier, I think the last meeting I was at, payment was not gonna be due to us until after some tax credit years. And initially, the bank would get their money, they'd be getting paid back once it got stabilized. But then there was gonna be a time frame before the city and the parish started getting their payment. That was one of my problems that I had, that it was gonna be almost a 5 to 10 year
Yeah, I remember
delay
that.
before us getting paid. And then we were gonna be second tier to the lien. That's another problem I had. Then this information that we got today, dealing with some other projects that are not actually working the way that they should be working. I mean, why would we take that same chance and then end up with a project that's gonna fall through the holes the same way? I also found out through some more research that the jury building that they converted to the loss, the city did a plan like this. They haven't got paid yet. So,
Who had got paid?
The Diamond Jury Building with the apartments that they converted over. That was a plan that they put together, and that got defaulted on, and the city
Same group?
lost. No, different group.
Okay.
But the city lost the money on that, so they haven't recouped their money back from that particular investment. So I think we just need to make sure that we vet this properly. I don't know when the administration vetted that guy's company, but this is talking about the individual itself, the information we got today, and some of the problems that he's having. So with that, I think we should actually hold what we got and do some more vetting, because I mean, the reporters are not going to report this kind of information if it's wrong. Commissioner Hawthorne. Yes.
Are we on like a timeline in terms of pulling the trigger on this particular project? Meaning that if we delay this for another 30 days, do we need to go back and renegotiate a contract?
So there's no contract.
Okay. And so, coming out of the Economic Development Committee, was there a report detailing the pros of why we should do this project, or it was just a recommendation that came out of the Economic Development Committee? Based on, you know what I'm saying? Was there a report attached to what came out of the committee?
Yes.
And that committee said what?
Yes. They did a recommendation, and other than the minutes, there's no official report. Other than the recommendation to the board, the full board.
Okay.
Came out of committee, and of course the minutes of that meeting, but it wasn't any report to go along with that, sir.
And did we have a third party involved in any part of the vetting of this process?
No, sir, not to my knowledge.
Okay, I think we're back to second time arounders. So, Commissioner Lynn.
I view this as an aspect of respect as well. We have one commissioner that has been here about 2 months. We have 5 commissioners that have not even taken their oath yet. And we're going to dump this on half of our legislative body. That's half of us. There's 12 of us. There's 6 people that are going to bear the burden of whatever happens. They'll, everybody can share in the glory, but the black eye is going to happen to half of the board that 5 of them aren't even here yet. And I, as a sign of respect to the incoming members of the Caddo Parish Commission, I just please ask that y'all delay it. Thank you.
Commissioner Williams.
That being it, we should have delayed everything on the agenda. If that's the case. Why we voting on everything on the agenda then, since these 6 commissioners are not here yet? Come on, man, give me a break. But anyway, this mayor and this body, everything had to be vetted through committee. That's part of our policy and our procedures. Now we want to change the way we do business up here. You asked us to go through the committee. The mayor came, our attorney came, our attorney was at the table negotiating this project. It's been sitting on hold for the last almost 2 years. You're always talking about progress. Let's move forward. You always come back and delay, amend whatever provision need to go on this particular project. What's the problem? So stop all this posturing and grandstanding because you're concerned about the new commissioners coming on. We must move forward. You always can come back and amend it or change any provisions that need to be changed on this particular ordinance. So let's not get into voting on many things up here. And 90% have been pretty good. We've been doing a pretty good job, so we must have some competency up on this body, some good business mind on this body. So I wouldn't insult the intelligence of those that's been serving for the last 4 years, like we don't know what we're doing. We do. More better than anybody in the state of Louisiana. Highest rated better than some federal government, the state and cities, counties across this country. So don't make it look like we don't know what we're doing. We haven't done a lot of great things. This one issue, let's go tear up our rating. We gonna be looked at. We don't know what we don't. That's not true. Ladies and gentlemen, we have done a good job. And if this doesn't meet the mustard that it needs to meet, the competent people on the body can also come back and change it or don't vote for it. Don't stop the progress that's been going on. Just make it tied up longer and longer and longer. It's not unusual to take low risks and investing and partnering up with the private sector to bring occupancy downtown. They've been talking about that for the last 4 years. You got to get people down here walking wallets. Or these retailers going to die. You going to be the one blamed for putting them out of business because you worried about time? So make an intelligent, wise decision. And when that time comes, it don't meet your demands, you always admit it and change or kill it then. But don't stop the progress. Thank you.
Commissioner Epperson.
Ms. Frazier, do you know the status of the deal with the Hilton Hotel in the city?
No,
Is that
sir.
paid off?
I do not.
You don't know where the city is still subsidizing payments to that?
I do not, but I can check.
Okay, that's all.
Commissioner Thibodeau.
I still think the project's a good project, but I believe financially, if I can decrease my exposure by $100,000 by waiting 45 to 60 days, then I'll do it. I'm decreasing my potential exposure from $600,000 to $500,000. And I just want to remind you that if we do vote to delay it, it needs to be delayed at least 45 days. Because if it's only delayed 30 days, then the same 12 people will be voting on it. Because this same board is here for the first meeting of the month, which is January 7th, and today is December 3rd. So we would be voting on this if we delay it only 30 days.
I won't be back on the 7th. I'll be out of town.
So if it's going to be delayed, it needs to be 45 days at least.
Don't count
45
me.
to 60 days. That's by 2 points. Decrease our exposure, and we need to increase it to 60 days.
See no one else on the board? Mr. Clerk, would you give us a rundown on the substitute?
We have a substitute motion by Mr. Lynn, second by Mr. Dominic, to delay ordinance number 5554, 2015.
Just delay it. See no one on the board?
Well, it's not even a clean vote yet, yeah?
Yeah. Oh, Commissioner Bowman is on the board. Go ahead.
Oh, yes. Well, can we make an amendment then?
Not now.
Okay, well.
We voting there.
Well, I voted.
Okay. Come on up to vote.
Vote no.
Where you been? I'm out here seeing to Mr. Bugs and company. You don't need to sit down through all of this.
Vote no, kid. That's where you need to go on this.
What we voting on, Mr. President?
Vote on the substitute motion to delay this.
And that's to what now?
To delay.
To delay?
Yeah.
That's what I was wondering.
That passes 8-4. Next item.
Well, still passes.
Oh.
He voted with Thibodeau, man. I can't believe it.
Next we move to zoning.
Hey, Dominic, too.
I'm witnessing.
Let's get this over with.
Next we move to zoning case appeal, SP 1915 replat, property located south of Harris Lane, approximately 126 feet south of Harris Lane, 555 feet east of Goldsberry. Mark Ratley applicant, Leonard Farms LLC, appellants. Next we move to ordinances for introduction. We have none. Next we move to work session minutes to ratify.
Moved by Commissioner Lynn, second by the chair. See no one that wishes to speak, let's vote.
Machine.
Mr. Thibodeau.
Bowman,
It's working. It's working. Machine work.
that's 12-0. That passed.
Next we move to resolutions. Resolution number 69, 2015, authorizing amendment to resolution 65 of 2015.
So moved.
Second. Thank you.
Hold just a second.
What is?
Hold just a second.
Oh, yeah, what we gonna call?
You have to tell Mario
Oh, yeah.
this is there. What they saying? Open up folder.
You want to find out what anybody needs?
That ain't yours.
That it? We're ready to vote?
Who that?
I would like to see.
Jefferson? Okay.
That passes 12-0.
Next we move to resolution number 70, giving written notice of regularly scheduled meetings for 26 calendar.
So moved.
Second.
Moved by Commissioner White, second by Commissioner Lynn. See no one that wished to speak? Well, Thibodeau.
And Globo resolution.
Globo,
No.
71. Lasting Globo of the Year. 71.
How about 70?
Okay, so,
72.
71
Motion to-
and 72,
Globo.
which is a new one.
which one?
70, 71, and 72. Second.
Yeah.
He's on 72.
That's,
John Bell Edwards? Okay. So got a motion to englobe resolution number 70, 71, 72.
Second.
Where's
Second by-
72?
That's
John
That's
Bell
the
Edwards
agenda.
added on.
Coming to the parade, being the Grand Marshal.
It's
Okay.
your
I got
spot
it.
right there.
Right.
Okay,
Let's
it was
vote.
second by Commissioner Lynn. I see no one on the board, let's vote. That passes 12-0.
Give me a break.
Okay, next we move to new business, final confirmations of end-of-year appointments.
Move to approve as printed.
Second. Any changes, anybody?
Got a motion to move as it is printed. Got a second by Commissioner Williams. Commissioner, as the maker of the motion, anything?
It looks good to me.
As the second. Commissioner Evers.
I'd like to nominate Mr. Michael T. Newman to be appointed as the MPC representative.
Been
Get a
moved
second.
and seconded to add Mr. Michael T. Newman as an appointee for the MPC.
That's the only change.
Commissioner Lynn.
May I ask Mr. Jean a question? Mr. Stephen Jean?
Stephen ain't been down here in a long time.
Thank you, Mr. Jean,
thank you.
for coming out. A little over 2 years ago, the MPC had a board member that was a architect, developer type person that was bringing something forward and then voted on that issue that they brought forward. And it caused them to have to resign from the board. Is that correct?
They were advised to resign by their council, I believe.
And so when somebody is in that position, they always have to abstain from voting when issues come up. Is that the correct way to handle it, or does your guidelines say that they have to resign?
There is a provision, as you're probably aware, there are provisions that you can recuse yourself from voting if there is a conflict. And that's a part of, that's a provision that is a part of.
Leading the witness.
The current commissioner that serves on the MPC, Ms. Lavette Fuller, Has she ever had to remove herself from anything due to conflicts?
I don't recall, I don't have those records in front of me. I do not recall ever having her abstain or recuse herself in any way.
Has she attended every meeting?
To my recollection, yes.
Do you feel, and I realize this is putting you on the spot, that she has done as good of a job as any other MPC board member?
She's a very active and engaged board member.
Does she appear to read and study every single case?
Well, obviously, I can only say that she asks very informed questions during the meetings.
That's all. Thank you. I was just wanting.
Judge Sherlock.
Your role. That's all. That's all.
This is leading the witness.
Waterboard you next.
Commissioner Dominic.
You do what?
He's gonna waterboard him next.
Judge Sherlock.
I just want to make a motion to kind of clear up everything. I'd like to go ahead and make a motion that we englobo the appointments from basically Carlos Gibson all the way down to Dottie Bell. So we can go ahead and get those taken care of. I think that those will. If I
Sure
can
about
speak.
Dottie Bell?
So if we could, can I speak now?
I'll second.
I think everybody understands what we do is just go ahead and get those ones out of the way, and then we'll come back to the NPC appointment, okay?
All right, you on the board again or this?
No, okay, now what are we doing?
I'm wanting
Everything
to-
with the exception of the
Everything
contestant,
except
the
MPC. Yeah, if you want to say it that way, yeah. Come back to
the
it.
easiest way.
Let's vote.
I got a, problem
You
with
got a
Dottie
question?
Bell. Yeah, I got a problem with Dottie Bell, but that's,
You don't have to replace
who don't?
It ain't me, man.
I'm just trying to make sure. I like to
All right,
read
that
for myself.
passes to do all the. Now, we're down to the NPC. And what we'll do is, we done all this year, we'll take the person who was last first. I'm proud of you. And then the other person. Now, if you don't vote for that person, do not vote.
Just vote one time.
Vote one time and vote yes if you vote for that particular person.
Can my
So
dad
the first person up is Michael Newman, huh?
Can my dad vote?
No. Can't give but one vote.
His name Michael.
If you're voting for Michael Newman.
Michael Newman. If you vote for Michael Newman, vote now.
Why aren't we going alphabetically?
No, we're going by last
Last
one
is first,
in.
first is
Okay,
last.
all right.
Is that everyone?
Is that everybody? Okay, that's 6 votes.
I'm seeing 7.
7 votes, okay.
Well, that's it.
That's it.
Hey, wait a minute, who we voting for?
I'll let you.
That was voted for Michael Newman. I thought we voted for Michael Newman first. That's one we just voted for. That's one we voted for.
Mine's not up there.
So 8.
Okay.
8 for
So yours is not Michael
You
Newman.
can't come and change your mind.
What? It didn't change my mind.
Raise your
I talked to
hand.
our
That's
administrator.
8 for Michael Newman. 8 for Michael Newman. So with 8, that's the majority.
Okay.
Next item.
We have no other business.
All right, I need a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Let me tell y'all what, there's a reason there's 2 people here. That's
Well, I'm
awful hard
just
to do
screwed up
both.
these last.
That's all it is.
How's she doing? What's the update on her?